Hello, welcome to Sip This Juice, and I am your host, Sunflower. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and seasonal depression. Now, I know that is an extremely touchy subject for some of us, so I'm going to offer a trigger warning just in case. Now, mental health is something that typically I feel is brushed over a lot in the Black community, but I do feel that a lot of people are becoming more aware of it and a lot more attentive to it. A lot of us are seeking the help that we need. A lot of us are getting into therapy. A lot of us are practicing self-care. A lot of us are catering to our mental health. A lot of us are taking mental health days, vacations. We're accepting less bullshit from our careers. And I love that for us. I love that so much. A lot of times people tell you to pray it away. While I do believe in prayer, I also believe that faith without works is dead. And I do believe that God has placed people to help us. Therapists, psychiatrists, doctors who prescribe medication. I believe all of that because sometimes you have to put in some type of work. And like I said, that's either medication for some or talking to a mental health professional. Okay? I'm by no means saying that prayer does not work, but I don't think that when people are in a certain place mentally that they want to hear, oh, pray it, give it to God. Like, that's all you're going to say? What about recommending some help for them? Like, come on. Yes, you pray for them, but maybe recommend a therapist. Maybe give an ear. Maybe give them encouraging words. Maybe, talk to them. Because sometimes people just need someone to talk to, professional or not. Sometimes we just need somebody to listen. Sometimes we just need somebody to care. Sometimes we just need to know that we're not alone. Yes, I talk to God, but I also talk to my therapist that God sent me. Yes, I talk to God, but I also take the medication that I was prescribed. It's a system, I believe. God, my therapist, medication, family. I just feel like we should put collectively a lot more effort into our mental health. This is my entire point. Today's episode, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my mental health journey, and hopefully I can give someone the confidence that they need to go ahead and get the help that they're seeking. I'm going to, as always, start off the podcast with a few affirmations. Today's affirmations are: I give myself permission to feel this way without judgment. My mind is a friend to my body. I can overcome any stressful situation. And finally, all problems have solutions. Thank you so much for repeating those affirmations with me. I hope that they can give you a little bit more clarity about your situation. Now, I'm going to get back into what we came here to talk about. So, let's get ready to sip this juice. Mental health. Now, that is a subject that I can go on for days about, but I will not. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. You see, I recently have started back going to therapy. A moment of transparency, actually. I started back taking my medication, which is an SSRI. What that does is that increases serotonin to your brain. It makes you happy. It makes you fucking happy, right? So I needed a little boost, and that's okay. Sometimes we get sad, right? And sometimes it's like you need that extra push, Vitamin D helps, but sometimes some of us need a little bit of extra. I'm one of them. And, I'm not ashamed to say that I need a little bit of help. Because the truth be told, a lot of us really do need help. We're just too scared of being judged or too scared of being looked at. Me, for one, I was too scared of becoming dependent on a drug. I'm at the point in my life now, well, I'll be damned if you're going to make me feel some type of way about getting the help that I need, because I'm the happiest I've been in a very long time. I get out of bed, I get out the house. I started back doing my makeup. To me, I don't think y'all understand. I started back doing my makeup. I now can function in society, right? And I actually have a therapy session later on today. And my therapist is a dope ass Black woman. The first session, she had me set goals. She had me set expectations, and she had me set boundaries for her, and told me that whenever I felt as though she was crossing my boundaries or she was doing something that I didn't like or made me feel some type of way, to tell her. And I was like, man, where have you been my whole life? And this is my third therapist. And I have been in my head okay, you've had 3 therapists, you're the issue. And it's not even that I'm the issue, it's the fact that I just wasn't compatible with the other 2 therapists. One of them reminded me of my grandmother. The second one reminded me of a homegirl. And I honestly felt as if I wasn't gaining the tools. My intention for going into therapy was to gain the tools that I need to I guess, function in society, function as a mother, function as a human being, right? Because I need some tools. Like, I'm not ashamed to say I needed some tools. Because me, I am not good at confrontation. I'm a people pleaser. I don't know how to tell people no sometimes, right? I don't know how to let a person know, like, hey, what you did made me feel uncomfortable. It took me years to start telling people that they hurt my feelings. Okay? That's the type of person that I am. So with a therapist, I'm allowed to set boundaries. There are boundaries that I've set with parents. There are boundaries that I've set with the people that I've been dating. There are boundaries I've set with friends because I can't pour out of an empty cup. And this is something that I've told myself time and time and time and time again about the pouring of it out of an empty cup. I'll tell people that I don't really practice what I preach. I'll tell people like, oh, you should do this, and I don't do it myself. Sue me, right? I've always talked about not pouring from my cup, but letting people fill their cup up from the overflow of mine. And that is another thing that my therapist reminded me of. It wasn't that I didn't know this information, it's just that I was not applying it. I have the tools, I have the information, but shit, sometimes I need a reminder. And if I gotta pay somebody to remind me to put myself first, that's something that I'm willing to invest in, because truth be told, that could be my DoorDash money, right? Kidding, kinda, not really. But it's like I had to make a choice. Like, do I want to continue living this life that doesn't necessarily fulfill me, or do I want to do something about it, right? I would get extremely overstimulated and just agitated, and I would take that out on the people that I loved. And it's like, bitch, why do you have an attitude? And I'm like, I could explain it to you, but I don't feel like it. And talking to someone and medication helps. And I'm going to say that several times during this podcast. For me, no, it may not work for someone else, but what's the harm in trying it? What's the worst thing that could happen? You could be happy? Ooh. No. I've struggled with ADHD my whole life, but I wasn't diagnosed with it until I was about 23. And getting that diagnosis, it was like an aha moment. It made sense. But it wasn't really until within the last year or two or so that I really understood what that meant and all that came with it. When I was younger, I would get into bouts of depression, and I could not explain why I was depressed. It was like, why are you sad? Why are you so sad? Why are you so moody? I don't fucking know. Who I don't know. It was, I don't know. I really did not know. And one thing about ADHD is that it can cause depression, it can cause anxiety. A lot of times people just wrote a lot of the symptoms for my ADHD off as either being lazy or being rude or just nonchalant. And it's none of those things. It's literally just how my brain works. And my brain just doesn't function the way that other people's does. My perception of time is different. My brain just neurodivergent. So to neurotypical people, of course I seem lazy or unenthused, but you can pay attention to XYZ. Of course I can, because this thing releases dopamine. Certain people release dopamine for me. Activities release dopamine for me, and some just simply do not. And if something does not release enough dopamine for me, then I don't want to do it. It's a struggle. One of the most pivotal tips and keys that I've picked up on is, while I'm doing something that doesn't release much dopamine, to do something else that does. Prime example, when I'm at work and I'm working and I'm doing my damnedest to be productive because I need a job to survive in society, I listen to music. And what that does is that tricks my brain into thinking that it's my job that's releasing this dopamine, but it's actually the music doing so. So I work. I have hella alarms set on my phone. When I write things down, I write them in color. I have people tell me that they're going to come over, so I will stress clean my room. Because one thing about ADHD is my room will look like a tornado hit it. Okay? There will be clothes everywhere. And it's just because in my head, I have every intention on picking that shit up. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I'll hang these clothes up later. And then I'll start hyper focusing on something and lose all track of time until somebody's like, hey, girl, what are you doing? I'm like, oh shit, I forgot, That's why I have alarms. They kind of just shake up my life a little bit. Like, hey, you got to do this, Because if not, I legitimately get so caught up in something else that I forget. With therapy and a little help from the medication, feel amazing, especially into comparison as I was last year. Last year was a complete shit show. Was dating somebody I ain't have no business dating, and I got hurt real bad by this individual, and I had to walk away because I'm like, it ain't no way that I'm finna do this. No, because I started getting the tools that I needed to start setting boundaries with people, and I still have trouble setting boundaries with people, but I got a lot more comfortable doing them. Now I just have to set them immediately, because now my issue is that I wait to set boundaries, and when I set boundaries, it's not nice. It's kind of like, well, bitch, I done told you, it just comes out really, really wrong when I set boundaries now, because it's either passive aggressive or extremely aggressive, and my mouth too slick for that. So, but I'm getting better. I'm also getting a lot better at self-care. Last night, I ordered myself flowers and wine. I got myself 12 roses. I ordered carrabas. I love carrabas. And I watched a show that I really enjoyed. I just sat with myself and enjoyed my night. And it was about me. I did what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? There is no reason why I can't have a night like this once a month. I can't dedicate one night to myself to pour into my cup, to love myself. Like, I bought myself flowers, and I feel really good about that because they're beautiful and they're just sitting here in the vase, and I'm looking at them right now. And I'm like, because I said that I wanted to buy myself flowers every 2 weeks because I want flowers. It's just my mental health is important because if I'm not all the way together, I can't be what I need for my daughter. I get overstimulated a lot, and that makes me really irritable. To the people I love, I seem very bipolar because they probably never know which version of me they're going to get. Because when I'm overstimulated, I'm no good. Everything just, my senses are heightened. Every noise sounds 10 times louder than it is supposed to. Every touch is amplified. It's like everything is heightened. So something that's not typically loud in general is extra loud when I'm overstimulated. And someone touching me, it just feels like there are thousands of hands on me. And I can't breathe. And I need one moment to just breathe. I do box breathing as well. I do my best to meditate daily. I have a diffuser and I put lavender oil in it with vanilla. And it kind of just really helps me find my zen. I like violet flame meditation because it really just woosahs me. Box breathing is very important to me because that's what brings me down. And everybody just has to find their niche, like what helps them. Like when your anxiety is bad or when you're depressed, what helps that? For me, it's talking to a therapist. It's definitely my medication. And going outside and getting some sun. Again, I've been in therapy for a year. And my mentality is nothing like it was in 2021. The best thing I've ever done was go to therapy. The best thing I've ever done is start back taking medication. And if anybody has anything to say about me doing either or, you can politely kiss my entire ass because I am in a really good place mentally right now. My productivity at work has increased. I'm wearing less and going out more. I have more energy. I laugh a lot more. I'm smiling. I'm genuinely happy right now. And if it was December 23rd, 2021, man, I really am getting choked up thinking about exactly where I was. Think about where you were a year ago. And think about where you are now. What's the difference? Moving forward, what can you do to be where you want to be? What's stopping you? And I tell people, if you have any questions, like I've recommended my therapist to 2 people already. If you have any questions, because a lot of us don't realize that we have employee assistance programs at our jobs. A lot of jobs have an employee assistance program with their benefits. And if you call a number, you speak with someone, they'll give you a list of providers that are covered. And you could possibly get a certain number of sessions for therapy if the therapist is in network with them. I say look into your employee assistance program benefits and see if there's something. Talk to your HR department, figure out, talk to somebody. And you don't have to tell anyone. I'm not setting a standard for anyone. I just know that there's somebody out there who can use that information. So of course I'm going to spread it because I'm all for mental health. Check it out. Because if it weren't for the employee assistance program, I wouldn't be where I am now. Put my pride aside, quieted my ego. I did what I needed to do, and I have no regrets. Because I'm about to get up and look like something and go grab dinner with my loved ones. I'm about to hang out with one of my best friends. And there were times where I'd be too depressed to even get out of my bed on a day like this. I would work from my bed. Now I work from my desk every day. I have my frequencies playing, my music is playing, I'm up. I just needed that little push. And no, I will not be on an SSRI for the rest of my life. But I am very happy. My body naturally produces serotonin. It's just increasing the production of the hormone that I already produce. So, in conclusion, if you need that help, don't let anybody make you feel some type of way about getting that help. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode of Sip This Juice. Love and light to you all, and you will be hearing from me next week. And I'm for real. I did not post last week, but I'm going to have a bonus episode for New Year's. So you guys keep on keeping on. I didn't mean to say that.